we're bottling today. It's the last time we can adjust the wine and exert any human influence on it. It's a very traditional business. Tradition remains, the color remains. It's called champagne green. You see all different series colors of green. Wine has been such a part of people's lives throughout history. Winemaking dates back about 4,000 years. It started to be bottled probably close to 200 years ago with the introduction of glass. Then it comes into a temperature-controlled warehouse, and then it stays here until it's ready to be shipped.
In this season of opulent October days, just as summer snaps into fall, consider what you see around Long Island's pathways and out-of-the-way ponds. It's the opening act of a harvest of hues starring Mother Nature's fall foliage, a tease of the big show to come. Tune into the trees along the shore, and you can begin to see the drama unfold as the character of the lofty leaves becomes a shadow of its green summer sheen, a subtle change in colors from a hint of honey to a cast of crimson and a blush of burnt sienna. Not enough to give away the plot, just enough to entice you to stick around for more. For this performance, Mother Nature has spared no expense. An original music score composed by a band of six-legged, two-winged performers. A jingle carried by the crisp autumn breeze and nuzzled by furry creatures around the next curve. And there's special effects in this premiere created by nature's lights in action. The starlight shimmer of leafy limbs in the October sun, the warm glow of a golden roadside flower, the glimmer of a garland of garnet-gilded leaves, too rich to be spent or saved, for within weeks it will be gone. The good news is this preview is for a show that's absolutely free. No tickets, no reservations required. And there's plenty of front row seating available. But it's only here for a limited run. If you like what you see now, just wait. Autumn, coming to a town near you. Virginia Huey, News 12, Long Island.
All right, I'm going to go down for fuel now, right?
Captain Joe Vandervelt has an 800-gallon tank on his party boat, the Jib 6, here at Captree State Park. At $2 a gallon for diesel, it costs him about $1,600 a week to fill her up.
We haven't passed the cost on to the customer yet. We might have to do that, but if if customer attendance picks up enough, we won't have to do that.
Here at Captree, the party boats get a little break on the price compared to regular boaters, but Vandervelt says it's still rough.
This year's just been the most increase we've seen in a long time,
People who make a living on the water have to pay these prices, but recreational boaters could choose to stay home a little more to save some money. However, people here at the Babylon Fishing Station say the summer is too short for that.
Our season is so short that, you make of it whatever you can, and then you enjoy it. That's what that's why we got them. We'll grin and bear it.
Are the high gas prices likely to keep you off the water at all this summer?
Not at all. I love it here too much.
While some boaters may be bearing it, Steve Esposito from Plainview says he might not go out as far as he usually does or as frequently, and he has a strategy for filling up.
Tank is 230 gallons, probably run me about 450, so I tend to top it off each time I go out. This way it's not so bad.
And of course, some people avoid high gas prices altogether. In Babylon, Holly Hare, News 12, Long Island.
That's the location.
22 at the scene.
CSI, Crime Scene Investigation. When it comes to fires in Nassau County, Gene Pietzak is one of an elite team of fire marshal investigators who work the scene, gathering clues and forensic evidence.
We'll look at the remaining artifacts that are left. We'll look at the furniture. We'll look at the appliances that are in here. We look at the walls, the sheetrock, ceiling. and we look at the patterns that are left. Whenever we do an investigation, we want to get down to the floor. The floor tells us everything. I consider this, when we do a dig here, as an archaeological expedition where we work through the layers.
A majority of the fire scenes like this one in Inwood are ruled accidental.
We're looking at an apparent electrical problem here.
But when a fire is set intentionally, fire marshal investigators dig out the truth. News 12 Long Island brought you these images of destruction back in 1994. This charred building is what was left of a popular club on Hempstead Turnpike in Levittown called Spit. The CSI team determined this fire was no accident.
As we dug through the scene, we saw these unique burn patterns on the floor that were indicative to a ignitable liquid burning.
PTAC looked for proof that Spit's owners may have torched the place for profit.
Gasoline is not a product that you'll generally find on a dance floor.
Investigators brought in their canine unit to help pinpoint the best areas to take samples.
Right there, good girl.
Canine Abby, like her predecessor Howard, who worked the Spitfire, is trained to detect the presence of flammable liquids.
She saves us man hours at fire scenes. With Spits, you have such a large scene where Abby's been trained to seek out an odor.
Once the canine alerts investigators to a specific spot, it's time to take samples. Once the evidence is sealed, it's sent to the Forensic Evidence Bureau for analysis.
My job is to determine if there are ignitable liquids in the samples that are submitted to the laboratory.
This is a gas chromatograph. It's used to differentiate between the chemicals found in each sample.
We can see the differences in the chemical compositions.
These are the readings from the Spitfire. Now, this top line is a gasoline standard. That way you can judge the other readings. These 5 lines are 5 samples that were taken from inside the building. And what you can see by putting them next to each other is that each sample shows the presence of gasoline.
Physical examination of the scene, looking at the burn patterns, looking at artifacts, interviews. The fire protection system, the sprinkler system was shut off. There was a financial problem with the business.
Once the pieces of the puzzle are together, it's time for investigators to take the case to trial. The Spit case went to federal court.
The investigation led to the conclusion with the arrest of the 2 owners where they were convicted of arson. They went to jail. You were able to come into a scene and look at all the destruction and then be able to piece the puzzle back together and coming back with a successful conclusion. It's a great job. Every day is a different experience. I get to see things a lot of other people don't get to see.
And use crime scene investigation to make sure justice is served. In Inwood, Elizabeth Hasshagen, News 12 Long Island.